Hi, my name is Terry. My son is Chance. He's 13 years old and has been in the program for 4 months. Chancellor was at appointment with at the doctor's office, and I was flipping through the Her magazine and found the article on brain balance. And since he had his brain injury, we've struggled, and I thought, is this my answer? And so I thought, I have to give it a call. I have to call and see what this is all about and see if this will help. When he was 2 months old, he was dropped in the bathtub and had 2 skull fractures and fractured ribs, and so he suffered a traumatic brain injury. And he was taken away from his biological mother because of the injury. And I've had him since he was 4 months old, and adopted him when he was 2 and a half. And at that point, when he was about 2 and a half, we started noticing that there was issues, and kind of wondered, you know, what's going on. But you know, it's, you know, he's a typical 2.5-year-old too, so it's, you know. But anyway, and then the older he got, the more we realized that there was problems, and so I tried homeschooling him, and it got to the point that some of his behaviors were to the point that just really couldn't handle them, and I was told to put him in school so we could get some services for him. The biggest thing is the meltdowns. He used to have these huge meltdowns. In fact, shortly before we came here, we'd gone to the shoe store, and he wanted a pair of shoes from the men's section that I thought were too big for him. And I said, no, we need to go over and try on a pair of shoes a size bigger than what you're wearing, and go from there. And he wouldn't do it. So we went home, and for 4 hours he sat in his room and screamed, no, no. It was horrible. And I knew that they weren't just temper tantrums. I had people tell me, oh, those are just temper tantrums and you just need to make him snap out of it. But there was nothing that was a reward big enough for him, or a consequence that was big enough for him, that could make him stop. And when he got done with it and it was all over with, the exhaustion that he had, and then he was very apologetic. I'm so sorry, I just couldn't stop it. So I knew they weren't something that was just, you know, he was doing. And we have not had a meltdown since Thanksgiving. So that's been our big thing. And then we just had parent-teacher conferences last week. And all of his teachers said they've really noticed how he's able to focus better in school, and his grades are coming back up. He also, like last year and the year before, had full-time paras in every class, and this year they have weaned all the paras away from him. That has improved. He used to just be, I don't need people, I don't need to have friends, but he's getting more friends, and he and his sister are really getting closer, because he's got an older brother that's 8 years older than him, so that doesn't live in the home, but he's, I don't know if I say more tolerable, but they've gotten closer, and so that's been good. And then he and Lexi, really, they spend a lot of time together now. Instead of each of them going to their separate rooms and playing, now they really spend a lot of time together. When we first, we used to always have to give him prompts and say, now Chance, it's going to be about 10 minutes when we're ready to eat dinner. Chance, about 5 minutes when we're ready to eat dinner. Chance, it's ready to eat dinner. Because if you just went in there and would say, come on Chance, it's time for dinner, he couldn't do it. And now it's not an issue. You can just go in and say, like tonight when it went to come, it was like, Chance, come on, it's time to go. Okay. You know, got his stuff on, and out the door we went. So that's nice not to have to think, oh, I've got to give him his prompts so that he's ready to go when I'm ready to go. Physically, I think he can do more too, which he was so weak before he came here, and having to do the exercises. It's interesting to watch how he can lift and do things, because he's getting tall. So that's never been an issue, but it just really increasing his strength and his flexibility. I've been very impressed. When I came to talk to Rebecca initially, I think I used a box of Kleenex crying so much just because of what I've been through. And she's like, I really think we can help you, Terry. You know, I think we can help him and see what we can do. And that was what I needed, was that hope, because I was struggling with him and thinking, what am I going to do? Is this child ever going to be able to be on his own, to live on his own? Because he couldn't do simple tasks at home. That now, this morning, he made his own egg for breakfast. And he hasn't done that ever. You know, and it's like he's getting more confidence in himself to do things. And then just the people out front too, scheduling, getting things done, reminding me that we have the evaluations coming up. And then the nutrition part of it has been really good, very educational. We already did a lot of gluten-free kind of things at home too, so it wasn't quite as a stretch as I know some of these people out here have talked about, but it was really good, and you really could, it's amazing to see what a difference a certain food could do to his behavior. Just more maturity, because you know when they tested him the last time, I think they said he was like somewhere between an 8 and a 9-year-old, and I'm ready for him to be that 14-year-old when we get, you know, to his birthday. And I think he'll make it. He's you know, making great strides. In fact, he's said how much he doesn't want to miss many sessions because he can see a difference in himself, and he wants to finish the program. Oh, it's absolutely worth it to come and get the assessment and just see where your child's at. In fact, I mean, it didn't necessarily open my eyes, but it confirmed what I thought. In fact, when they did it and they said cognitively he was a 5.5-year-old at the evaluation, I told Rebecca, I said, ooh, that's good, because I thought it was more like 4, you know. But it did confirm that I am seeing this. Because I got to the point that I doubted myself with so many people saying, oh, he's just a spoiled brat. And it's like, no, it's not. There's more to this kid than I spoiled him and didn't, you know, and I gave him everything he wanted, because I didn't. He's doing good. I'm anxious. And not necessarily just to finish the program. I just want to see what he's like at the end of the program. Because I've seen so many changes. It's exciting to see.